Here are three of the craziest things that were ever found underwater. In 2020, a diver in Texas was exploring a flooded quarry when he came across an old car resting at the bottom. Thinking it might be linked to a crime, he contacted the police. When the vehicle was pulled out, officers found human remains inside and a briefcase in the trunk filled with rare coins and old bearer bonds worth more than $120,000. The car belonged to a businessman who had disappeared in 1985 and was suspected of leaving with company money. But since he had been declared dead and the company no longer existed, nobody could claim the money. Police attempted to keep it as evidence, but the diver hired a lawyer, and after a year-long legal fight, a court ruled that he was entitled to the contents. He ended up keeping it all. In 2022, a woman in North Carolina was kayaking on a river after a major flood when she noticed a car that had been swept into the water. She called the police, and when they recovered it, they found a suitcase in the trunk. Inside were bundles of cash and a bag of uncut diamonds. Investigators traced the car to a man who had disappeared in 1998, but his only living relative, a nephew, said he wanted nothing to do with it because his uncle had been involved in things he didn't want to know about. As a result, police awarded her the contents as the finder, and she walked away with $340,000. In 2019, a man in Florida was snorkeling near an old bridge when he spotted something shining on the sandy bottom about 10 feet below. He dove down and pulled up a metal lockbox that was rusted shut. After getting it open at home, he discovered stacks of waterlogged cash and several gold watches inside. He reported the find to the police, and after 6 months with no one claiming it, he was allowed to keep everything. But when he had the watches appraised, he learned they were vintage Rolexes worth far more than the cash. He sold them for $215,000 and used the money to buy a boat.